Welcome. I'm your host, Dustin.
And I'm your co-host, Dean of the Dead, or Dean. Oh,
And wow, we are doing something we haven't done in fucking months, dude. Like
are we
legit months. A movie
are we
review.
reviewing a movie?
We are reviewing a movie that just came out in theaters, like not a streaming movie or anything like that, like an actual
I
like big budget. So this is
Man, for a minute I was literally just beginning to wonder, do you like scary movies?
no.
which is why we are here to review a romantic comedy
Yes, exactly.
by the
Wait,
name of Scream 6.
Scream 6, yes. It's funny, I'm actually wearing the old promo shirt from the previous Scream movie. This is a
Now,
sick ass shirt, and I have to thank Alex from Screambox. He gifted it to me.
oh
So
wow.
yeah, so this is fucking
Where's
awesome.
mine,
It's
Alex?
yeah, yeah, it was
That's
awesome.
awesome. That's great, man. Hey, do you know what?
It's
I was wondering this the other. I was thinking about this the other day. Scream, Scream 2, Scream 3, Scream 4, Scream 6. Where's the five?
it's actually really funny because if you look at it, I think if you go on IMDb or something, there's actually 4 Scream movies that's titled Scream with no numbers.
Okay.
So when people say Scream, they're like, "Well, which one are you talking about?" you know.
Right.
But
Well,
we're talking about
Scream to
6.
me, yeah, Scream to me is the original one. Scream 2 is 2. Scream 3 is 3. Scream 4 is 4.
Yeah.
Scream, but it's number 5, but they just call it Scream. And then
No,
Scream 6.
I just call it for cream, like everybody else does. They just call it for cream. And then Scream
Yeah.
6.
But yeah, Scream 6, man.
I guess we can do, first like I don't know, 15 minutes spoiler free or whatever. We can run through IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes. If there should be some Rotten Tomatoes out now, right? It's been about a week. Been out a week, right? Was it
It's
two
been out
weeks?
a week. Yeah, it has been out a week. I'm just having a little look now. I can't see, but I'm sure it's got to be up there. It's got to be up there. I'm
Yeah. Let
sure.
me. If you want to through IMDb, I'll go to Rotten Tomatoes
Yeah, man.
and see what's going on here.
Yeah, so I've got the IMDb score right here. But shall I run through some of the cast members?
Yeah, go right ahead. Let the listeners know who is in this.
Who's in this film? So we've got the screen queen of the moment, the awesome Jenna Ortega. I really like Jenna Ortega, man. I think
Me
she's
too.
great. I don't know. Can I say she's hot? She's hot, but I mean, she's not a kid, right? So I think she's
No,
in her
no, no.
20s.
Yeah, she's good looking.
She's in her 20s. She's in her 20s. So, but she just looks so young. She looks like a
She
little
is
girl.
super
But
fucking short too. Like some of the
yeah,
shots in this film, they make her look so small. I'm like,
yeah, exactly. But like in
wow.
like in X, she was great. In Wednesday, she plays a girl. So that is wrong. That feels wrong. But in this, she's like a young adult. A young adult. In X, she was a young adult. Anyway, Jenna Ortega, she's great, man. She's really cool. And she's going to be around for a long time, I think, because she's actually a really good actress. I think she's really good.
Yeah,
Really
I
good,
agree.
really good. She's got a real good presence about her, and a real quirky look. And I think she's great. So yeah, she plays Tara Carpenter, one of the survivors from Scream 5. Um, you
We have to
have
think about it. Like, oh, which one is it?
yeah, and then
Oh
you have
man.
her sister, the equally as hot, Melissa Barrera, who plays Sam Carpenter. I guess you could call her. I guess she's the main character. I'd say she's the
Yeah,
main character.
yeah. They're very
And then,
focusing on the Sam narrative right now.
yeah,
I guess Scream 5, it was a little bit more terror because everything that happened to her, and Sam came back into her life, and then
yeah,
we found out the whole fucking storyline of like who
Billy
Sam
Village.
is, and
Yeah,
and we have fucking Ski Erlich, coming into the movie, and then yeah, so I think it shifted from Tara to
yeah,
Sam. That's how I feel anyway.
man. I met Skeet Ulrich at a convention, and he's a really nice guy, very handsome guy. But you know what? One thing I noticed, He's got really big hands. Honestly, man, you check out some photos of him. He's got some abnormally large hands, man. And in the flesh, it's like some big hands, man. No, he's a really nice guy. But yeah, so Melissa Barrera plays Sam Carpenter, who we know from Scream 5, is Billy Loomis's daughter.
Yes.
And actually, I think that's really good casting. I can see a similarity. They've got similar features. That's really good casting, I think.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Well done, Hollywood. We've got the return of Kirby Reed, played by Hayden Panettiere. Is that right?
Don't even ask me. You know how I am with names.
Oh, that is very true. Yeah, I know your pronunciation. Hayden Panettiere.
Oh man.
I think that's right. It sounds like a French.
I'm gonna say that you nailed it. Thumbs up.
Right. Panettiere. That sounds like a French cake, like a croissant or something. Hayden Panettiere. Kirby Reed. Yep. So she returns to Scream 6. We have Samara Weaving.
Yeah. Very brief.
Very briefly, yeah, in the intro to the movie. She from Ready or Not. Now, she's worked with the directors before because they also directed Ready or Not.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Great film. So I'm guessing that's why they've pulled her in for a role in this. And she's in the opening scene, and we can talk about that in a minute. But great opening scene, man. Great opening scene. We have, of course, got Courtney Cox back as everyone's favorite reporter, Gal Weathers. I'll say not everyone's favorite reporter. Everyone's trying to punch her in this film.
Yeah, it's like the ongoing joke.
Yeah, exactly.
Love it.
Mason Gooding as Chad. We've got Roger L. Jackson as Ghost, the voice of Ghostface. He's back. Skeet Ulrich's back as the ghost of Billy Loomis.
Very brief too, but I love the moments that he was in it. It felt really, really cool.
It's creepy, isn't it? It's quite spooky. We've got oh yeah, sorry, go on.
Yeah, what's really funny is like this is so like off topic. But everybody knows, like the Batman and Joker, how they have that dynamic, and and that Batman sometimes has a Joker like in his head and whatnot. For anybody who like reads the comics or anything, but it gives me that kind of like dynamic between Sam and Billy, because she's trying to be there and be herself and not fall into the road that he went into, and he's always there trying to poke at her and be like, "You come on, you could do it." So that's what I like.
Hold the knife, put it on. It feels good, right? All that kind of stuff.
Oh, so good. It's so good.
Trying to push that, she's got the serial killer mentality in there, and he's trying to bring it out of her. Yeah, it is cool. It's very dark, which is quite cool. We've got Jack Quaid, Dennis Quaid's son. Yeah, man. There's a great cast of people, and it's directed by the same directors. Now, I can never forget the name. It's like an ensemble, isn't it? I think it's a couple of directors.
Yeah.
I actually sent a message to one of them way back when, Matthew Alpin, and I can't remember the last bit. I'll have to find it in a second. Hang on, I can find it on IMDb. Now,
Nellie Olphin and Tyler Gillett.
There we go. So, hang on, let me find the directors' names again on here. Come on, IMDb. Give it to me. I'm scrolling, but I'm not finding. Hold up. Here we go.
All right.
I'm looking for the list. Sorry, guys. I'm looking for the list.
You're good, dude. Do what you got to do. Do what you got to do, man.
I'm just scrolling and it's not giving me the list, the cast list, and all the rest of it. So what's his name? Matthew Alpin?
Matthew Bettinelli Olphin.
There we go. Yeah, I've got it right here. Sorry, Matt Bettinelli Alpin. Yeah. So he directed a horror way back when called Southbound.
Oh, really? Oh, I know that one.
Southbound. I think it was I think Tyler Gillett might have been involved in that too. But there was like three of them. It was like three directors. They all worked together. They all worked together on Ready or Not. They worked together on VHS. I believe they did a segment for VHS. Ready or Not, and then they moved into Scream. I remember messaging Matt Bettinelli Alpin way back when on his Facebook account, telling him how much I love Southbound, and he wrote me back saying, "Thanks, man. That's so cool that you've discovered that movie over there in the UK." And yes, that was our section in VHS, and but hope you're well. He's a really nice guy. This was way back when, so I went to see Scream 6 the other day, realized that he directed it, and I was like, shit. I spoke to that guy. Like, I remember messaging that guy that's directing.
I think it's time to reach back out.
Well, I did, and the account doesn't exist anymore.
Of course, he had to get rid of it because he got too big.
Because he's a rock star now, man. He's since Ready or Not was a big movie. I think they did Scream 5, and also Scream 6. So those last three movies have been pretty big hits, especially the Scream franchise. But from Ready or Not upwards, they've been pretty big hitter movies. So yeah, he's had to dash off a Facebook account of his, and I can't pick up on the conversation where we left off about 5 or 6 years ago. Damn it.
Oh man. I hate when that happens.
Yeah, I know, man. But yeah, so that they're our directors, and that is our cast, amongst a few others, but they are the main.
Yeah, the main ones. I do have the Rotten Tomatoes here. So Dean, I want you to guess. What do you think the critic score is with, as of right now, 236 reviews? What do you think the score is right now?
Out of 100?
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm gonna guess it's in the 70s.
Oh, you're warm. You're warm.
I'm gonna guess 79.
77. You're very close.
Oh, okay.
So that's pretty good. Pretty good.
It's
certified fresh as of right now, but that could always change. And what about the audience score with 2,500 plus ratings?
IMDb, I've got out of 18,802 ratings, 7.4 out of 10.
Oh, that's pretty good. For
which is
IMDb
pretty
scores?
Good. Which is pretty good, yeah, which is pretty damn good. So that's around about the same, I'd say 70, and 7.4. So, roughly around about the same.
92%. 92% for the audience. Pretty good. Right. That's really, really, really good for a very late entry on an already established franchise. That's really good.
Yeah.
Normally it goes down as the franchises go, but no, it seems like this is thriving. So be ready to hear Scream 7 be announced at some point, because it's going to happen.
It's just smashed box office records, isn't it?
Yeah, it's actually, I think I have what it's grossed so far on here too.
I'd say there's two reasons why this has been really, really piqued people's interests, in my opinion. One is Jenna Ortega. Jenna Ortega. I think she's the girl of the moment. She's hot right now, as they would say in Zoolander. Jenna Ortega, she's so hot right now. But yeah, I think she's the girl of the moment. So I think that's one of the reasons that's put bums on seats. The other reason is the switch up in setting, man. They've taken it out of Woodsboro. They brought it to New York City. And I think that for me was the biggest thing for me. As soon as I found out it was going to be set in a Big Apple, I was like, I need to see this. That's a great landscape. Yeah. But we'll get onto that in a bit, because I do not think they use it anywhere near enough as they should.
I'm right there with you, man. I will say it right off the bat. For anybody who has listened to the review I did with Aaron last year of Scream 5, I wasn't that fond of it at all. I actually thought that it was really weak. There was a lot of things that they were trying to push in your face and just trying to get you to come back to the series. They're trying to win you over, so they have to throw everything they got at you to latch on again, because it's been a while since we had one. But
Yeah.
I will say that I enjoyed this one a lot more than the
Yeah.
previous.
I
A
agree.
lot more.
I wholeheartedly agree with that. Yeah, I did. I actually rewatched the fifth one. We was going to a lot. Cineworld's over here. We're doing a double bill where you could go and watch 5, 6 back to back.
Yeah.
We were going to go for that, but we unfortunately we didn't have the time. So I watched 5 here at home before we went to see a screening of it. And I was like, yeah, I kind of remember liking this a bit more in the cinema. This wasn't as
Yeah.
great as I remembered it being. No, I never came out of it watching Scream 5 at the same. I never came out of the cinema thinking, "Fuck, that was great." I just remember thinking, "Yeah, that was all right." And then when I watched it again on DVD, I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
But
It's definitely
6
the
was
audience really helps you gauge if you like a movie or not too. That's what happens to me. Like if the audience is not into the film, I feel like I'm not into the film.
yeah,
That's what happens with me sometimes. So I have to rewatch it and see if I still have that same feeling. And
yeah.
yep, still had the same feeling of not really liking Scream 5 that much.
Yeah, it was a bit of a throwaway movie, really. I thought it was okay.
It was just
Six was
too
different,
much
though.
going on. Too
6 was
much.
darker. 6 was definitely darker.
Yeah.
The story was good, I thought. Man, there was some plot holes. There's some which we can talk about again in a minute, but I think there's some bits in there where I was just like, really.
Yeah.
But it's just overall, it had a really kind of dark tone to it, and I think that is partially, the whole New York backdrop.
Yeah.
Um, and the sisters, Jenna Ortega as well. She's just definitely got a presence.
Yeah. She's been, in enough movies now where I think she knows like where she is as an
Yeah,
actor and how she can portray emotions and situations a lot more. So if you
yeah,
look at her in 5 and then you look at her in this, it's like a completely different person.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I like that. She grew as a character
yeah.
for
I
sure.
agree.
I will say though, I'm very upset that they did not go with the idea that I had that I said this on the last review for the last Scream movie. And Dean, I want to know what you think of this because I don't think I've ever told you this. But I
Right.
thought if they were going to go and make another Scream movie, because I thought they were done. I didn't think they were going to make another one. I really didn't. I thought
Yeah.
after Scream 5, they were done and that's it. And then they announced it like a month or two later that they were doing the 6th one. But I said to Aaron, I'm like, the only way I'm going to go and watch another Scream movie is if we see the film through the eyes of the killer. If we
Yeah.
are the killer through the movie, and we see how the killer like tricks everybody and sets up all these elaborate things, and we get a little bit more of a backstory on the killers because we only get a backstory of them in the last like 15 minutes of a film, of like why they're doing
Yeah.
this. So I
The
thought it would be
reveal,
really
the
cool. Like
grand
we
reveal.
would still see the group, all right? We would still be there with the group, but we saw more of who the killer is instead of playing well, it's this person, well, it's that one. Really wanted to see it through the eyes
So you kind of
of the
mean
killer.
a bit like how they shot Maniac.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Yeah,
Interesting. It would definitely make
it would
for
be
an.
really dark. It would be a really dark film, but
It would.
that would put a whole new spin on the series.
It would be really dark, and I don't think they'd be as bold to go there because real diehard horror fans would love that. But I feel like they're still trying to cater for quite a youngish audience as well. They're trying to.
Fuck them, man. They'll come around to it.
Oh no, I agree. I agree. They're still trying to cater for the spring breakers and the young kind of.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, especially with the cast and the General Take, because as I say, she's that young.
Well, that's why you make the killer her.
I like that. But man, that's going to be a short.
See, there you go, man.
Man, fucking Ghostface will look like a hobbit. Everyone
Oh
will
my!
laugh.
You should have to be on stilts. Oh shit!
Everyone would just laugh at
They would
Ghostface.
all know there was. or she wouldn't be the killer, but she would be like the one who's collaborating all of it, and we would see somebody else in the suit.
The puppet master.
Yeah.
I like it.
I don't know. That's just an idea that I had, and I was like, oh man, that'd be so cool if they fucking did that. But
Yeah,
I know that they won't, because writing that would be very hard, I would imagine. And, having to make the people who are already so established in the Scream franchise, like all the fans, go to a new format, I think would be really, really hard. But I'm also
I
getting
don't
really
think.
sick of the who did it.
Yeah. Now, especially when the reveals are, and I'm gonna say it, as crap as they were in this one.
Oh, it really was. It really was.
It wasn't. Now they keep missing a fucking trick, man. They keep missing a trick, and I won't say now,
Yeah.
but we'll talk when we get to that. Because obviously when we jump into spoilers,
Yeah, we will in a few minutes.
yeah. But I feel like they keep missing a lot of really, really good tricks, mainly involving Stu, which I think is everybody's thinking the same thing. Maybe they're saving that up. I don't know, but
Well, I will say, I don't know if you saw this, Dean, but apparently there was an interview that came out a couple days ago. I forget what magazine picked it up, but they were talking to the directors and the writers, and they said that it's possible that Stu could be back, because we're living in a franchise where people can come back whenever. I mean, we see it with fucking Billy. He's a spirit, but he's there.
dude,
There's
this
another
was
thing that I want to say, but I'll wait until we get to spoilers. So when we get to spoilers, I'll go back to that point I was just talking about. That the other thing that
yeah,
they were saying, that I thought was very interesting.
yeah. I mean, one thing that I've learned from the Scream franchise, especially Scream 6, is that when you think people are dead, when they get stabbed and stabbed and stabbed again, they still
They're
get up
not
and just fucking
dead.
run around. They
Yeah,
just get up and run around.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I was
What?
laughing at that with because Felicia was in the audience with me, and oh man, I wish I was still like her and being afraid of things, because she was like jumping at everything. But when people
Yeah.
were being stabbed and walking around, I was laughing, and she was just looking at me like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, he's just running around, man. Would you do that?
I mean, come on! This one of them, the characters gets their guts stabbed off hanging out on a train, and then like just at the end, you just see her running around, all smiling and happy, and then they kind of go. I'm jumping into spoilers here, so I feel like I should save this.
Well, we can do
But
spoilers right now. Okay, we'll do it right now, since we are very gun ho on this, because I want to get into them too. So as
yeah,
of
yeah,
right
yeah.
now, if you don't want to
Spoilers.
hear spoilers, shut it off, go watch the film, and then come back. So this is
Yeah,
your final warning.
yeah.
We're going
Spoiler
into
alert.
spoilers. I'll count down from 3. As soon as I hit 1, we're going right into spoilers. 3,
Spoiler alert.
2, 1. All right, Dean, go ahead.
They all die at the end. No, I'm joking. No, sit right. So, okay. So basically, some of my gripes with this film is a lot of people get stabbed. A lot of people get stabbed, and stabbed, a fair few times, quite brutally. But they don't fucking die. They're just like they keep, like you think you like one of the characters. Now, hang on a minute. Let me just try and get up his name so we know who we're talking about.
Talking about
Chad.
Chad.
Chad gets stabbed to fuckery by 2 ghost faces, one either side of him, in the side, all in the ribs, everywhere. Stab, 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 stab. You're like, that motherfucker is dead.
Yeah,
Like one of those fuckers hit an artery. He's dead. Come on,
yeah,
these are killers. They're stabbing him with these big fuck off knives. And then what? Fast forward about half an hour later, and the motherfucker's being taken out on a stretcher and going,
I was laughing at that.
and he's still alive. And Jenna Ortega's like, the love, because they're love interests now by this
Yeah,
point. By
yeah,
the way,
yeah.
now they're sweethearts now. So like, she's like giving him a kiss. Chad's still alive. I'm like, fucking bitch. Chad literally should be stone
Yeah,
cold.
yeah. It's like the famous. I think they did that with Gail, right? When she got stabbed, they were like, "Oh,
Yep.
there's a faint pulse." I'm like, no, 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 no. Just
Yep.
let's stop
Yeah. So
holding on to characters. Like, we need to
yep.
stop doing this one thing that Hollywood loves to do. is to hold on to characters because they know they can make another film. Just
exactly.
go brutal, all right? I want to see these people legit get like torn apart, and some people do. There's fucking shotguns going off. There's brutal stabbings. There's like people being disfigured in this. It's a really brutal film compared to all the other ones, and I love it for that. I love it.
You had Chad get stabbed to fuckery, comes back to life. You had Gail stabbed to fuckery, comes back to life. Then you have Mindy, who's Chad's sister, who gets stabbed to fuckery on the train. And then at the end, when like literally like they're kind of the core four, they call themselves, when they kind of all kind of get back together at the end, she just appears. And you're like, wait, she got stabbed up on the train and she's jumping around smiling. And
she was with the other killer.
And she was the other killer. And yeah, on the train, right? And then but then they walk off and you see them walking off. And I think the directors must have watched that back and gone, oh, do you know what? Yeah, that does look a bit shit, doesn't it? So they've just added in a voiceover that says, oh, they've put me on some really strong painkillers or something like that.
Yeah.
And you just think, oh, come on. Come on. Like, do you know what? For a start, I didn't like that character. When she got stabbed, I was like, thank God for that. She really annoys me. And then when she come back at the end, I was like, oh my God, why is she still alive? So, I mean, you can't, kill off Mindy, man. We don't need fucking Mindy back to number 7.
Really, all she does is she just plays the Randy role, and not, in my opinion, not that great. She's not that great as Randy. She's always saying, oh my God, like Uncle Randy and all this stuff. And she likes to bring up like, oh, now we're in a requel sequel. Man. We're in a franchise.
Yeah, cringe.
It's like, so I get it, man.
Come on. That I was not keen on. These are my gripes. No, I thought this was a really, really good movie. I really enjoyed it.
It seems like we're aligning on our gripes, though, and I kind of like that, though.
Well, it's just, I think we're just getting the gripes out of the way before we launch into the good stuff. But I mean, we are definitely aligning on our gripes. And I think because they were just so blatant.
Like, they were not trying to hide it at all. And I feel like even like non-horror fans or like veterans in the Scream world, universe, franchise, seeing this, you would from watching other films, you would go and be like, what?
Yeah.
The hell? And that's what I did in the theater. I was like, what? I think I even said out loud, what?
Yeah. Yeah, we did as well. We did. For sure. Now, so they were the gripes. They were some of the gripes there, right? With the characters, really. And the storyline, I thought, yeah, you could have killed some of these people off. We don't need to kill all these people alive,
Another thing, I know like this was coming because she, signed off. She didn't want to do the film. But when they went to go talk about Sydney and they were like, oh, she went into hiding. I'm like, after fucking 5 films, she's taking her family now and going into hiding? You couldn't have came up like a different reason saying, she fucking got into a car accident or something, or being like there's something different. And instead of like, she ran away with her kids and she's in hiding now. Like, I feel like that was such a shitty way to get rid of a legacy character. Like the biggest legacy character in the Scream franchise, aside from the Ghostface like costume.
Yeah.
It's like you could have done something better. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I agree. I think some of the writing was a little bit shoddy in some of this. I think
there was like 3. I think there was 3 writers on this or some shit, and that's what happens when you have so many people writing it.
Yeah. I think it was just a little bit, and it's like they've obviously done something, and they've thought, "Oh shit, that doesn't make sense." So we need to write something in there so this particular character explains it, and it's just a bit like less of that and more action, more gore, more grit, more darkness.
Yeah.
Less of that shit. Less of the Dawson's Creek shit, man. Just give us more.
Yeah, I really wanted more killings. I thought there was like way more filler going on with like dialogues between people and scenes going on for far too long. Like when the guy is like the boyfriend of Sam, who's like waving in the window, like "Hi, hello." Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
There's a thing going on like that. Scene went on for like 15 minutes, and I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
just throw something at the window, guy.
Yeah, yeah. I've got to say that I really enjoyed that scene. That was a standout
It's
scene
good,
for me.
but it's just like I felt like it went on for far too long. Is all that I'm saying.
Yeah, it did. But I love the fact when they're all sitting in the kitchen and he's can see what's going on, and he's like, "Oh," and
Yeah, it
I thought
was pretty
that,
funny. It was.
I thought that was kind of like, I thought that was pretty cool. Another gripe of mine is, so they use New York, and I thought New York would be a really fucking awesome backdrop for the movie. Like, it's such what a great playground, what a great city to like. I'll tell you what, I really wanted to see. I wanted to see a scene like in The Grudge. This is how I imagined it. The scenes being with the Ghostface killer, like in The Grudge in the office block when everyone's gone home, and there's
Yeah.
just one person in the office block, and it's all quiet. And they're going down those empty stairwells and all the corridor. I was like, they should have used, fuck me, or a really kind of cool office block on Wall Street or something, or
Yeah.
just something like that. With Ghostface calls up, someone stayed later. Well, I know something along those lines. I thought would have been really good, but they don't use New York as well as they should. I love the subway scene. I think the subway scene's great. Um,
You know what they didn't use?
a lot of it's just like studios. You can tell it's set up in a
Yeah.
studio, and you just think, "Come on, man! I want to see New York. I want to see them run across the fucking Brooklyn Bridge. I want to see them." Do you know what I mean? I want to see
Yeah.
more of New York
There was
itself.
one thing I was hoping that they were gonna do, and when you use New York, you have to use these. You have to, especially if you're doing a horror film, is the
Statue of Liberty.
fucking sewers, man. There's no
Yeah,
fucking sewer scene.
yeah, 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 yeah. Sewers.
I was so hoping that there was going to be a crazy chase in the sewer or
That would
something,
have
or
been,
like the layer that we see with like all the ghost face like costumes.
yeah,
I thought that was going to be down below, like embedded in like the bottom
yeah,
of New York, and it's not. It's
yeah,
just in some like fuck off like
yeah,
goddamn old cinema that
yeah,
is like in like the weirdest spot possible that you could ever have, like a cinema. It's like in a
yeah.
back alley.
See, I just that like a good looking
And
set
it looked
piece.
great. It's just the
Good
location
looking
was awful, in my
Yeah, good
opinion.
looking set piece, but I would have switched that up for, like you said, a sewer scene.
That would have been
I would have
so cool, man.
switched up some of them scenes for some, like the bridge, man, the chase across the bridge.
Oh,
Even on like Staten Island ferry or something, on a boat going across the ferry, or just something like that
or
would have been
Ghostface on a
cool.
bike,
On a bike,
like on a
yeah.
motorcycle chasing after a car with the shotgun. Oh, that would have been badass.
Yellow taxi cab chase around the
Oh,
blocks. I don't
go,
know.
go, go, go! He's coming! He's coming! What are you talking about? He comes over with a shotgun and blows up the guy's face. That would have been great, man. You're like, oh fuck!
Exactly. Yeah, dude. Exactly.
All right,
Exactly.
Dean, we're writing the next Scream. We're doing this. We're
Honestly,
going back to New York. We're staying in New York, and we're just gonna rewrite this whole movie. All right.
honestly, man. Honestly,
Let's
I
do it.
really feel that they could have, just use New York better. I think they could have done a better
Yeah.
job using it. Like
Uh,
a chase up the Empire State, or up the top of the rock or something.
yeah.
Like use some of these locations, like the one that goes up in the lift and up just, oh man, fuck, it's New York City, man, come on. And it looks like so much of it was just shot in a studio and in
Yeah.
an apartment, and in her therapist's office, and
Uh,
in a party, like. But
I, you know,
how many times do we see these party scenes? Like, I love a good party scene, but this isn't Road Trip, man. This is
yeah,
screaming fucking New York. This is,
yeah,
that's so I wanted to see more of the city itself, like make it a bit more gritty, the dark, dank side of the city. Like you said, the sewers. I really
oh,
like the subway scene was
just
cool.
dude, just imagine Ghostface in a black fucking attire. All is just white, and you're down in the sewer where it's pitch fucking black, very low light, and he's just there, you
They
know.
could have had a chase like on the tube where they got off the tube and like made the subway and like run
And then
through
they
the
run into
tunnel.
the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Would have been
Yeah,
fucking great.
yes. But yeah, so that was
Cowabunga, dude.
Yo, bunga dude, pizza. But yeah, that was a that's another gripe of mine.
Yeah, I will say I think my last gripe, because overall I really like this film. My
Yeah, me
last
too, me
gripe
too.
would have to be the therapist scene, and the therapist just himself, because he was just used
When
as a fucking plot device for them to track down and see where she was and all these other things. Because he dies, the therapist dies, but also Ghostface just shows up there randomly and kills him, and this just it helps continue the story when this guy didn't feel that important at all, in my opinion. I don't know
yeah.
if you felt that way, but I don't know. The whole scene, I thought it could have just been didn't even need it. You could have mentioned you
Yeah,
had a therapist, but I don't think we needed a full on scene with you talking to this.
yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's something I probably would have scrapped. I would have switched that up for a chase through the sewers instead.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. With the therapist in the sewer, why not put him down there?
Exactly. Although that was quite a brutal kill, man. He takes a
Oh, it
knife straight in the
was.
eye.
Yeah.
He takes a knife straight in the eyeball, man. That was a good kill. But yeah, pointless character, pointless.
It's just a plot device, man. It's trying to get the story going.
My very last gripe would be probably the biggest gripe of all was the reveal of the killer or killers, should we say, was fucking naff. Like it was like it wasn't a great payoff.
No, it slowed down at that point for me. I was on like it was going on all cylinders until they slowed it down with well actually no when they said, "Oh, it's Kirby. Kirby has been, off the force because of what was it like
Mental
mental
health issues.
instability or something like that."
Yeah.
So
He
he's like,
actually
"Oh, you
took
got to
a course
call
too,
blah blah
didn't
blah."
he?
So the cop, the guy that they're with, says all
Yeah.
that, and then I'm like, "Oh my god, it is Kirby!" Because after everything that was set up, but then I was like, "No, I'm dumb for falling for this." Like I knew right then and there,
Yeah.
it's not. I know I'm dumb, and I saw this fucking reveal coming a mile away as soon as that happened.
So Laura called hit the kill the main cop guy as the killer way early in the film. She said, "I bet that's the dad of the killer in 5." And she was right. She was right. She called it way early on. Now what we said was that kid's dad should have been Stu. So you had Billy's daughter dating Stu's son,
That would be some weird shit.
and and sh- and the reveal is the kid's father, but it's Stu, not that fucking cop guy.
Yeah.
That would have been way cooler. That would have had that literally would have had people like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, that reminds me. I'm going back to what I was saying before in the interview. Is that they said how the TV fell on the kid, the same thing that
yeah,
killed Stu. They said in the interview they did that to prove to the audience that Stu is dead or something like that because the TV fell and killed him. But they're also saying that Stu might come back. So it's like they're doing this like yo-yo thing. Like, is he not? They try to build up hype, I imagine, for Scream 7 where he finally shows up and it's just a voice in the head.
If the killer was revealed to be so that kid from 5 who's the killer's dad was Stu, let's say, for example, and at the end of 6, let's say that they wrote it better. There was no therapist scene. There was tons of sewer shots and Brooklyn Bridge chase outs and stuff. And then right at the very end, it's revealed that the boy from 5's dad was Stu all along. So she was dating. So Billy's daughter was dating Stu's son. And the big reveal at the end in the lair, which is not in the cinema, it's in the sewer now because we've just reran it.
Yes, way better.
Was Stu's son. Jesus, dude! Everyone's jaw would have hit.
It would be like a way of Stu getting back at Billy for stabbing him.
There you go. And everyone's jaw would have fucking hit the floor and just been like, "Oh my god, that's the best scream ever!"
Oh
but
man, what if we ruin the plot for the next film? What if this is what happens in the next film?
They're just gonna write some more Dawson's Creek shit.
Oh my god,
Maybe
yeah. More therapist scenes.
maybe set it in Spain or something. I don't know.
Man, I was really holding on to the theory that everybody had that it was going to be Nev Campbell in the Ghostface
No, that would
costume.
have
I
been
thought that
cool.
would have been fucking crazy, but
No, that would have
also
been
like a huge like what the fuck moment.
good marketing.
Yeah.
Because there was that whole uproar about her not being in it and da 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 da. Whereas if all along it was all a ploy, she is in it because she's the motherfucking killer, y'all. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would have been pretty. That would have been cool. That would have been very. See again, another trick missed.
Yeah. There's so many things they could have done. Or finally make it Gail, because everybody's like, oh, Gail's not a killer. Gail will never do that. Why didn't you just fucking do it with her?
Even that, man, because she looks scary enough these days with all the fucking face
Oh,
shit
fuck
she's
yeah,
done.
dude. She's got a lot of work done, man.
She looks like a monster.
Ugh.
She looks scary. Like she looks like she's had a stroke, man. Half her face is hanging off. But literally, I was so disappointed at the end there. I just thought, oh, is that it? These guys, really? And that
Yeah.
fucking
They
kid,
didn't
Elliot,
feel like killers to me. I think that's the problem, is that they didn't feel strong at all.
Not one of them felt like, not one of them had that kind of chill factor about them.
Yeah.
Not
and
one
like,
of them.
I was
like,
thinking
him,
back.
him. Oh, God.
I was thinking back earlier. I'm like, I was looking at them. I'm like, trying to picture them holding their shotgun in the supermarket and it's blowing people away, or stabbing the therapist in the eye. I'm like, these kids look so scrawny and weak. How are they able to do what they were doing?
Yeah, so the killers actually were. So you had the cop played by Dermot Mulroney. His name was Mulroney, I think his name was Wayne Bailey. He was the old cop.
Yeah.
His daughter, Quinn,
Mm-hmm.
who we find out later it's his daughter, but she was the roommate of Melissa. Oh, sorry, Sam. Melissa's her real name. Sam's the character name. Sam Carpenter, Jenna Ortega's sister, Billy Loomis's daughter. Basically, they're roommates.
Dude, also like the father's explanation and why she's still alive was so bullshit. I just swapped out with the body with a new one.
Yeah.
Well, you fucking got bodies on like just in your back seat.
Body's on tap.
What the fuck, dude? Like that was the stupidest thing.
And then the other third killer is Ethan, this geeky, nerdy kid that's so transparent there's gonna be this fucking kid as well. But like just nothing about that character makes you think like
I think if it was just the dad, if it was just him, okay. Because he has a presence about him that is kind of, it's scary. But the other two, they were so weak, in my opinion.
I even thought at one point the way that the Ghostface character was moving at one point, it had a bit of a swagger to it, and I thought it could have been Chad.
Yeah, I was briefly thinking about that in the very, very beginning during like the party scene and a little bit after, but then I kind of dropped that. I was like, no, there's no way it's him. And then for some reason, I started going towards Mindy, but I don't know why. Just in my brain, I was like, maybe it's her because she keeps bringing up all the fucking, Randy this, Randy that, and all the trivia and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, maybe they're finally going to go for the know-it-all being the killer. And it wasn't that either.
Yeah. I think I probably would have hated that even more because she's probably my least favorite character.
Well, she would have died, so.
That's true.
you would have won at the end.
That's a shame. Yeah. Another one was Danny, the love interest from across the way in the building across the way.
Yeah, that was a red herring. I saw that right from the beginning.
Yeah, total red herring because he looked like he looked like a bit of a bad boy, but nice guy trying to be friendly and like, oh, is he actually Ghostface? That'd be way too obvious. But yeah, man, I don't know. Like, but the thing is, okay, so it sounds like we've done a lot of shitting on the movie. No, not shitting on it, but just griping about it.
We're just highlighting some things.
We are. You know what? It was also a really good movie. Really entertaining. It was good fun. There was some good kills. The scenes, the subway scene was awesome. The intro scene with Samara Weaving was really cool.
It was beautifully shot too. I loved it.
It was almost like a double intro, wasn't it? So you
Yeah.
see the scene opens up with her waiting on someone in a restaurant or a bar, and she's obviously like on a blind date or something. Maybe she's someone on Tinder or something. I don't know.
She
So
was like
she goes,
a professor or something at a college too, right?
and she taught, or she did seminars on serial killers or movies, serial killers in
Yeah, that's right.
serial
That's
killers
right.
in movies or something like that.
Yeah.
So the person on the other end of the phone's basically saying, "Where are you? What bar are you in? I must be on the wrong street. Like, can you come outside and tell me what color the sign is?" So she goes out. She's like, "Yeah, it's red." And he's like, "I can't see red anywhere. I can't see, blah, blah, blah. Like, can you see?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm opposite this alley." And he's like, "Oh, yeah, I'm coming down the alley, but I can't see you. Like, can you come down the alley?" And I was thinking, there's no fucking way you'd be like all
And
dressed up, just walking down a dark alley with someone you've never met before. But whatever. So she
yeah.
does, and then she gets killed by a ghost face, and then the ghost face turns out to be one of the students. So we're like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, this is like a double intro. So then he basically is back at his apartment, and then he's like, yeah, I did it. I killed her. And he's on the phone to his roomie or whatever. We think it's his roommate, and he's going,
Yeah.
yeah. What did it feel like? What did it feel like to kill her? And he's saying, explaining what it felt like and blah blah blah. Anyway, then it transpires that the voice changes into Ghostface. I think, if I remember rightly, or it's Ghostface all
It was
along.
already Ghostface because they
It
had
was already Ghostface,
the
right?
changer that they were using.
That's right, yeah. And then he's like, hang on, he thinks it's his roommate dicking around, but then it turns out it's not. It's an actual Ghostface killer. And he opens up the fridge, and his roommate's in the fridge, all hacked into pieces. And then he turns around, and there's Ghostface.
Yeah.
So it's like a double intro in a way, like
Yeah.
a day. And it was good. I thought it was really good.
I did like it.
She's great.
The one thing that was kind of annoying to me is when she's describing the building. She's like, "Oh, it's red," and he says, "I don't see red anywhere." I'm like, "Oh my god, he's gonna say the fucking line when she dies. Now I see red." And he does. I'm just like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Like, how cliche could you be?" That was another thing that kind of like upset me at the very beginning. I was like, "Is this how we're gonna go through the film? Is it gonna be like this?"
I actually quite like that though.
Really? Oh my god, I thought that was so cheesy. I was like, "I don't see red anywhere." "Oh, you're dead now." "Now I see red." Like, come on, man. But I do like the whole following him back and like seeing like, oh my god, we're seeing him be revealed now? Is this what we're doing? I was like, are we doing? I thought that they were doing what I was talking about. Like, we're following the killer. So I thought that's what we were doing. And I was like, oh, I was kind of excited after. I was like, oh, maybe they heard. Maybe they heard me. And then I was like, oh, no.
Yeah.
Another red herring.
Yeah. No, on the whole, man, there were a lot of plot holes. I think I was expecting it to be great. I was expecting it to be really great after what I was hearing from early reviews. It wasn't for me personally, but I did enjoy it. I would go and watch it again. I'd like to go and watch it. I want to go and watch it again in 4DX. It's not really a 4DX movie. I'd like to see how they do it as a 3D 4DX movie.
Yeah, that's weird.
But yeah, it was entertaining, man. There was some good scenes. It was very corny, cheesy, in a lot of places with the lines, some of the lines and some of the characters and the way they get stabbed up and just get up and walk around again, things like that. Like,
we gotta test it out in real life, Dean. Stab me a few times and I'll stab you and see if we get up after.
Yeah. It was but all that aside, it was good. It was like the subway scene was a great scene. I loved all the masks like around Halloween time, on the subway.
Yeah,
that was cool. The lair with all the different Ghostface costumes was a good set piece, even if it was a bit random.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, all in all, a good movie. Not the greatest payoff. Crap killers. Could have been way better. But
I think they shot their load a little too soon in the previous film because they had some batshit psycho killers. No, in the last one with the reveal. Like, I actually liked Scream 5 reveal way better than the reveal in this one. I thought it was a lot stronger, even though I didn't like Scream 5 as much as I liked this one. And it sounds like I didn't like this film at all. but I really did because there was some cool set designs in it. The character building in this one was a lot stronger. When Billy was there speaking to Sam, it felt way stronger in this one because you saw him so much in Scream 5. Like, you saw him so much. And I know that they were doing like, oh, well, she's on pills now. But as soon as like she was off the pills for a little bit and he started coming back, and no, they were kind of nudging like, oh, Sam's gonna do it. Sam's gonna do it. And that's what I wanted to do. I'm like, they're building towards Sam being a killer, and then you get to the very end when she's holding the mask.
Yeah.
And because she held on to it, I was like, are they gonna do it? Please tell me they're gonna do it. They're gonna do it. And then she drops, and I was like, I was really sad.
And then, right, I'm coming in with another gripe here. And then they just walk off.
Yeah. No one grabs the mask at all. It just stays there. So no, someone else can go and grab it.
They don't even get sat down and taken in for questioning by the police. It's just been a load of homicides. There's been a whole bunch of killing and stabbings and fire or whatever. They just walk off.
Yeah.
We're just gonna walk off.
Yeah, I guess we got to see how Scream 7 is because we know it's coming.
We're just gonna walk off and go home, take a shower, and sit down. And
we're gonna go find Sydney, and we're gonna run away with her.
We just get like it's like they walk off into the sunset. You know, all this commotion going. There's just literally all these traumatic experiences.
Yeah,
all this death and blood shed, and and fire, and just evil. That's just literally just happened, and potential deaths of their friends who are like, oh no, they're not dead, they're still alive. But fuck, man, that was so traumatic. And then they're just like, anyway, just walk on.
I wish we heard a little bit more or saw more of Gail to see. Obviously, we know that she's in critical condition, but some sort of follow up to make sure like she's actually still there, because all we got was like there's still some sort of pulse there. And I think that was pretty much it that we got with her.
They need to start Scream 7 with, I'm sorry, Gal didn't make it. She didn't pull through. I mean, like, yes, they killed a character off.
Yeah. Maybe that will happen. Maybe she won't sign in for it. You never know. It's a possibility that she'll drop out, like, how Nev did,
Nah, to be honest, if they haven't got Nev anymore. They don't have Dewey.
Yeah.
David Arquette anymore. Stu hasn't made an appearance. Skeet just comes in Spectre form. Gail's the only kind of real character from the original film that's still there. I think if they took her out of it and it was just all complete new cast members, I think a lot of people would boycott the franchise. Maybe, I don't know. I think people would always.
No, I think they would still go and see it. I think people are starting to warm up to the new cast, which I do. I love Sam and I love Tara. Chad, I'm still warming up to. Mindy, I liked her a little bit in 5, and this one she just got way more annoying. I mean, I feel really bad that she had another girlfriend killed. It happened to her twice. And she's going through it really rough and whatnot, but she doesn't seem like she's growing as a character like the other 3 are, in my opinion. I feel like she's so stagnant. They just really want that Randy character, and they're like, you're going to be Randy, and that's it. You're not going to do anything else. You'll get stabbed and you'll be okay, and you'll be with the killer and still be okay after being stabbed. He won't kill you, don't worry.
This is the thing as well, like, at the end when she comes back and she's literally bouncing around like she's happy as anything, like she's on holiday. She's just lost 2 partners, so she's been stabbed to fuckery.
Yeah.
She lost a partner earlier on in the film, and she lost a partner in the last film.
Yeah.
But she's jolly as anything.
Yeah. I don't. Maybe she just doesn't feel that sort of pain. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, it's crazy. But Chad, I liked him a lot more in this one than I did in the previous one. And I like the whole dynamic between him and Tara now, and how they have this kind of connection, even though we know how that's going to end. And usually when somebody is with somebody, if it's a main character, like an actual main character, the opposite person is probably going to be the killer.
Yeah.
We didn't have it in this one with Sam's boyfriend. They were really hinting at it really hard, but then they started doing the we gotta like, not be near each other like at all, cut ties. And he's like,
Yeah.
oh, I get it, I understand. Do what you gotta do, babe. Yeah, you I know. And she's like, yeah, you told me not to trust anybody. And he's like, I know. I know.
Oh,
I hope he returns, though. I hope he becomes an actual part of the crew. I think he has some cool potential
I
of
liked
being
him.
somebody cool.
Yeah, I liked him. I liked him as a character. I thought he was pretty cool. Yeah,
It was kind of funny for the moments that he was there.
Yeah.
Trying to think what else that I really really like about this film. I mean, I love the whole gallery of all of the ghost face costumes and the masks. I think them being able to get a hold of all of the evidence was a bit much for me. Being able to get every mask, with it being in still mint condition, with getting the TV, the knives, and all the robes, I thought, like, is that really possible? If there was like a serial killer who had multiple costumes, say in real life, and you were a part of the police force, you were a cop, and you wanted to give your son all this stuff because he was obsessed, is it possible for you to go and track down all that shit? I don't think so. So that was a little far fetched for me, but then again, this is a movie, anything can fucking happen. But the set I thought was really really cool there.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I thought that set piece, it was cool. Even though it was a random location, I did think it was cool. Yeah, it did look cool. I like the big mural with the ghost face thing.
Put it on, Sam. Put it on.
It was good. Man. I'd like to have seen a little more of the New York backdrop, as I mentioned. I thought would have been cool. A few of the locations that we mentioned before, I think that would have been cool. But man, it was an entertaining film. It was entertaining. I picked up
2.5 hours of pure entertainment.
Picked apart all the little negative bits and pieces, but it's also it was great. It was like you say, the other characters. Some of the characters are starting to grow on me. I really like Tara. I really like Sam. Chad, I'm the same. I'm warming to. Gail was Gail.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest draw for me with this one was it being set in New York. I thought it's just this, it's going to be great. As I said, New York is an awesome playground, and many places to have chases and spooky one-on-ones with the killer and stuff like that. I just don't think they use that to its full advantage, but maybe they will if they keep Scream 7 in New York. Maybe they'll use a few more of these locations.
Come to Boston.
Yeah, man.
I want to be in that film. Come over here. Come over here, and I'll be Ghostface.
Scream in Salem.
Scream in Salem. That would be kind of cool.
Scream in space.
Oh my gosh, that will happen at some point, guaranteed.
Yeah.
I think because there were so many cool things that happened in this film, but really, I know it was in the trailer, but my favorite scene, I think it really has to be the market scene, just because of how batshit that was. Like, this Ghostface does not give a fuck. He did not give a fuck about anything. He was and brought, like, it was at nighttime, but he was right there, and a group of people on a street goes into a supermarket, kills people, kills the shop owner, takes a shotgun, blows up the place. And I thought the suspense during that was really, really good. I thought the pacing was really good. I just love that whole scene right there. I thought that was so well done, and I wanted more of that.
Great scene. Yeah, that was a really good scene. Who do you think that was? Do you think that was the girl or boy killer?
I think that was the girl.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I really do. The boy, he doesn't seem like he's that aggressive. At least he didn't. She felt like she was a little unhinged. That could do something like that, but I don't think he would have been able to. But that's just me. I don't know. Maybe it
Yeah,
was the guy. I don't know.
yeah. I feel you. I feel that. I feel that. Cool, man. I
Do you
think
want
I
to
think
want to
that's
get to our
about.
final verdicts?
Yeah, I think that's about all I've got.
Yeah. I'd say go see this. See it in the theater before it comes to any other platform. You need to see this in the theater. And if you have a 40X like Dean does near him, go see it there. Let me know how that is. I
Yeah,
think I have a 40X over here that's playing it too, so I might go check it out and we'll compare our experiences and whatnot.
absolutely.
Um, yeah, go check this out. Like I said, I prefer this one way more than Scream 5. I don't even remember what I gave Scream 5. It might have been a 5 out of 10 or something like that. But Dean, I'll let you shoot your score out of 10. What would you rate this?
I'm gonna go. I was expecting it to be better than it was, but I did enjoy it. I did enjoy it. I would
Hmm.
like to go and see it again, knowing what I know now.
Yeah.
Um, even though they didn't use as much of New York as I wanted them to, it still was set in New York, and you did see, a fair amount of the buildings and whatnot here and there inside the apartments, stuff like that. That was quite cool. It was darker. Some of the kills were darker
Yeah.
than
Very
previous
aggressive.
installments. Um, I think I'm going to go in at about 6.5.
Oh, wow. You got that way lower. Wow. I thought you were going to go a little bit higher than that, but okay. 6.5 out
Yeah,
of
no,
10.
I think it was
Slightly above average for you. Okay.
slightly, maybe a 7, maybe in at a 7. I'd say no. Let's go with a 7. I think we'll go
Okay.
for a
I
7,
like that.
which
I like that score a lot more.
that's
Um,
about on point with where everyone else kind of seems to be sitting as well, with a
yeah.
70% and a 7%, from IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes. I think 6.5 is probably cutting it a bit too short. I think a 7 out of 10 would be good, because it was entertaining, man. It was entertaining. I'm just really picking holes in all its flaws,
Yeah.
but on the whole, it was a decent fucking movie, man. It was entertaining enough.
Yeah. Now for me, I really did enjoy this film a lot. Like I I wasn't originally going to go see this. I was going to skip out on it because like Scream, like we've all I feel like I've had enough of it. I think a lot of us feel like we had enough Scream. We need something fresh. And I was really afraid that there wasn't going to be anything in here that was going to give me that, okay, this is cool. I like this. They're going somewhere new. They did that with how brutal this Ghostface was, because in other films it was always a one-on-one situation most of the time until the final reveal when he's unmasked. But in this one, this Ghostface did not give a fuck about anything or anybody. It will mow you down. You'll even if you have nothing to do with what's going on, you're dead. If you're anywhere near the main characters, you're gonna die. And I really really like that. And there was some pretty good suspense in this one. It was super dark. Seeing Ghostface use things it's never used before, like a fucking shotgun and whatnot.
Yeah.
Seeing the awesome lair, that was really cool. Um, I'm
Mm,
upset there's no sewer scene. I'm gonna take a point off for that, for it being in New York.
yeah.
Um, but for strengthening a lot of the characters, and keeping some of them kind of where they were in the previous film, I think I like that, with feeling more attached to at least Sam and Sarah, the ones that they want you to really focus on. Um,
Yeah.
I'm a bit upset that they aren't going to go, or as we think right now, they're not going to go with um, Sam going full blown serial killer like I really want her to. They've been kind of nudging at that since the previous film. I'm upset that they didn't do that. Um, But for it being in a new location, it is really cool. But I'm going to piggyback on you with you saying that they didn't use as much of New York as I wanted it to, or you wanted it to. Yeah. Man, this is hard. I don't know, because I'm really torn. I wanna score it high because I really enjoyed this, because it was a great theater experience and everybody in
Yeah.
the theater was so into it. My girlfriend was really into it. She hates horror movies, so I have to add some sort of points to it for that.
Yeah.
I might give this. I want to go 8 out of 10.
Okay.
I'm going to go a little high. I'm going to go 8 out of 10 because it was really, really enjoyable. I liked it way more than Scream 5. I'm definitely seeing this again. I'm gonna pre-order the fuck out of this to get whatever kind of editions they have. Um, yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. We did nitpick a lot, but I mean that's why we do this show, to highlight
Yeah.
the better stuff, because there's a lot of good things in this film. There really is.
Oh, dude. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean, I always, as I say, I always try and see the good in everything. And it was a great movie. I'm just trying to pluck out some of the flaws.
Yeah.
And, where, because I think it had the potential to be a fantastic movie.
Yeah, I agree.
Like a really, really, really fucking great movie. Almost reinventing the whole franchise. Like when the first one came along and reinvented, the genre.
Yeah.
I think it really could have done that if it was just a little bit more. I don't know. There was somebody else perhaps behind the writing helm. I don't know. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. I think it had the potential to be a really, really, really awesome movie, but it just fell short a bit for me in places. And those are the things that I've highlighted more than anything else, I think. But if you get over that, it's a great movie. It's really
I agree.
entertaining. And as a just like you say, a cinema experience, sitting there watching it, it's great fun. It's great fun. I've just been highlighting some of the gripes that I've had with it, which I think would have made it leap from a 7 to a full blown fucking 10.
Yeah.
But on the whole, I'd say it probably sits at number 3 in the Scream averse for me. The first
really?
one. The first one being the best, obviously. Number 2, I preferred to this one.
Okay.
And then I think it comes in about number 3.
It's really funny too that you say that, because if you think about it, and I see a lot of people talking about this as well, is like Scream 5 was pretty much them redoing Scream 1, because they go back to the house right at the end, and then this one they kind of redo Scream 2 because they're in college. Yeah. So it's like, are they gonna follow them doing Scream 3 and then Scream 4?
I hope not, because it means it'll only get worse.
Yeah, I mean it's true, but who knows? Maybe they'll turn this way on its head, and
maybe
we're gonna be very surprised. Like, wow.
Maybe.
Or maybe they'll be like, yeah, we're not making any more Scream. That's it.
Maybe, yeah. But that's what I thought they were going to do when they moved it to New York. I was like, this is their chance to really give this some fresh,
Mm-hmm.
Fresh blood, and really rejuvenate the whole franchise. And
I feel like it did do that a little bit in certain areas. It definitely did.
No, I agree. It did. It did. No, I agree. It did. It definitely did. 100% did. Yeah. I just think, as I said, that if they'd have got a few of if they'd have tweaked it here and there and made it a bit of this and all that, it would have just made it a fucking awesome movie as opposed to a good movie.
Yeah. I'm hoping that there's some deleted scenes or something in the Blu-rays or 4K DVDs that they release of things that were cut that are pretty cool. I always love seeing like what was taken out of films, because usually some of the deleted scenes that get taken out of films enhance your viewing, in my opinion. So I don't know. We gotta wait and see.
I wonder if a different choice of director, would have made this a bit more. Someone is used to doing stuff a bit darker, a bit more darker.
Yeah, well, let's get David Gordon Green to get on this.
I don't think so.
No.
Maybe David Fincher. He'd do it.
That'd be funny.
I prefer that David.
I don't know if I can think of any modern directors right now that could pull this off.
David Fincher, old school David Fincher would have done a great job.
Yeah. How about Jordan Peele? You think Jordan Peele would be able to do something? What if he took it in like a weird ass fucking direction?
Yeah, he would do it. He would take it in a bit of a a strange direction, which would either be really super interesting or just like, no, 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 you just ruined the
Yeah.
whole Scream franchise.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'd say maybe I don't want to say James Wan, but I don't know if this is his kind of thing. He's not really a slasher guy, is he?
No. But it's kind of
Um,
funny though, because did you see the announcement that's happening now? That
no.
James Wan partnered with Blumhouse, that they're I know I don't know if you know this video game, but Dead by Daylight game. So that's
Oh, right.
technically going to be like a slasher in a way,
Okay.
and James Wan's going to be part of that. So I'm kind of
Oh,
intrigued.
interesting. Hey, man, Rob Zombie. He'd have been pretty cool having a go at Scream. That'd have
He
been
would have made this
interesting.
movie so colorful.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been so gray and blue.
Yeah. He'd have made it very colorful, and there'd been
Yeah.
some
He would
really.
have made all his own set designs. Everything would have been a set. It wouldn't have been in actual New York. He would make it look like it was New York.
Yeah.
You know how that would go.
But yeah. Anyway, Scream 6.
Yeah. And then
Good movie.
the killer would be his wife. It would be Jerry Moon Zombie.
Yeah. Playing herself.
Play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
Oh
god,
man.
the killer is Sherry Moon Zombie.
Oh my god. What? Oh man. Yeah, but no, this movie is great. Go see it. Support it. It's already, I think, broken some records for previous Scream movies opening weekends. It's at like $44.4 million right now in the first week, which is nuts. That's absolutely nuts. But yeah, see it. Dean, as always, it's great having you on doing these. We have, well, as everybody knows, Dean's doing his convention, so his time is very limited. But there's going to still be a lot of content coming out. I'm starting to do weekly live streams of just hanging outs. We got the Screenbox Essential Picks that are coming out. We're on episode 3 already, with a lot more coming out. We have some Screenbox screeners that we got to cover. And we just got a screener for Living with Chucky, which I'm super excited for. That's a documentary everybody has been really over the moon for. People who've seen it at festivals saying it's really, really good. And I'm so excited for that. There's a lot of really cool things happening. Dean, is there anything that you want to talk about at the end of the show?
No, man. Just there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a possibility that I might be involved in Scream 7 as the killer, Ghostface.
I support that. I support that. Just don't tell me if you're the killer.
Or maybe it could be Dustin. Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, no, not well, a lot of stuff going on, man. I'm working on getting Dean of the Dead brand over into the US still. There's a lot of stuff happening there. It's a slow process, but it's getting there.
We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. Relax.
Relax. Running a lot of shows, loads of shows, man, loads of events. The year's only really just getting started for me now, and I'm feeling it.
Oh yeah, man.
But no, it's great, man. There's going to be a lot of good stuff happening this year, and yeah, stay tuned to the show. Keep listening to the episodes. Keep supporting Dustin. Keep supporting the Baron's Hideout. Keep supporting the whole everything that we do. And
the whole shebang, my guy.
Yeah, man.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in and coming and listening to us ramble about Scream 6 and talk about mostly negative things. But it's funny, though, because all the other shows I've been listening to have been doing the same thing.
Constructive. I'd say constructive.
Yes. So hopefully the directors and writers, they listen back to these shows that other people are doing and kind of, think about, oh, okay, so we should do this instead. But we all know that ain't going to fucking happen. But thank you guys for being here.
That's why we tells it like it is.
Yeah, exactly. Make sure that if you guys are in the UK or anywhere close by, that you are supporting Dean on his website at deanofthedead.com. Go get his hot sauce. Go to the conventions he's on. Go to his Instagram. He has a list of all the conventions he's doing. Go to his YouTube channel, which is this Dean of the Dead TV, I'm pretty sure. Right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so it's that. Support that. He does a lot of vlogs and festival highlights that he goes to. It's really, really fun, and there's a lot of stuff coming out on this show, and we have a very busy year ahead of us. But thank you guys so much for being here, and we will catch you on the next one.
Do you like scary movies?
No.